What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're finally going to take the 369 L5P out and we're going to go on a little drive and do a little overview of the charger on this truck. Like I said last week, I never really did a video of a 369 truck before for the channel, but I think it'd be a great opportunity to, go over the charger, see what to expect out of it. If you're looking to upgrade your turbos, it'd be a great series to follow along with. And I'll really have, at that point, everything covered on the channel, from an upgraded VGT, which is still 67 I have on my 2020, to a 369 truck. And then in the next coming weeks, we'll have an S400 Series Turbo 2, an S472, and it'll be a great little series to follow along with if you're looking to upgrade your charger. What your end goal is, what to expect out of it, and everything along those lines. So without further ado, we'll back this out of the garage. I'll take a few clips of it outside, rev it up a little bit, see what it sounds like idling. Then we'll go on a drive, and we'll go over everything you need to know about this 369 charger. All right, so we'll get a little startup video of the 369 at idle. Alright, so we're just going to take off from a little stop here. As you can see, it's so nice with this TCM tune. You can kind of hear it a little bit, but it doesn't really shift to about 1800 RPMs, and it really helps keep it in boost. And that's only about half throttle, but as you can see, the trans tuning is super on point with keeping the charger in boost. That was the biggest thing that we were dealing with at first with this setup, is that it just wanted to shift through the gears, get right up to 6. The trans tune wasn't really set up. It's just a basic standard TCM tune. But as you can see, when it's, it starts to feel itself lug, it has no hesitation, downshifts perfectly. So we really got the TCM tune for the setup really dialed in. But before I got into that, like I was saying before, just really wanted to get the 6 gear, hold it there, and every time you try to get on it, it would just lug and smoke. As you can see, this tune's pretty clean for the most part. You're gonna get a little bit of smoke out of it, but when it gets into boost, it's very good. And it's not really laggy. I know when we step up to the S472 here shortly, it's gonna be a lot more laggy and not responsive, but that was just a little quick pull through the gears. I'm gonna turn around up here and we'll go back the other way and I'll get on it a little bit more, but take note too that also we have no fuel left. We're at 11% on the edge, and it still has full power and everything down low. Before we were struggling with that, but with the sump added, that took care of everything, which is great. So one problem figured out, which is super nice. So we'll turn around, we'll get another pull. I'll put the window down a little bit so you guys can hear the truck actually do a pull, and we'll go from there. So one of the good parts is with the 369, as you'll see here in a second, is that it doesn't take long to spool up. It's not as lazy as you would think it would be. So kind of let's do a little pull here. As you can see, from a stop and go, it really doesn't have a lot of lag to it, which is super nice. Like, once this charger is in boost, it's great. So overall, over a stock charger, if you wanted to step up to a fixed vane, this is a great option. Not super laggy, does everything well. The only thing that you can kind of see, I'll do it up here when the road straightens out a little bit, but when you're kind of on it, you lug it, you do get a lot more smoke, and it's not really building boost, like right here, for instance. So as you can see, it takes a lot more fuel to, make it spool up, and it wants to be a lot more lazy in that regard. If you're trying to tow or anything along those lines, not really good for that. I'm sure it's not horrible if you manually shift it, but when you want to actually try to build some boost and pass somebody, and you're kind of in a, in between the gear there, it gets a lot more lazy. This does have a built trans in it, so the converter lockup down low really helps it out, and you don't really have to worry about getting on it, making it downshift anything like that, because the Trans is built and you don't have to worry about slipping it or anything along those lines. But let me get up here on the straightaway and I'll try to get onto it a little bit of a pull with the converter locked, because back there it was not locked up yet. That's just a pull from 1 to 3. We do get 3rd gear lockup, so let me get on this road up here and we'll do another pull under lockup. So now we're locked up. So as you can see, it wants to really hold 4th gear out, which is great for keeping this truck in boost. I would say that was maybe 3/4 throttle, but this thing does build a ton more boost over stock. I just glanced up the edge fast and it was like 45 pounds of boost. Maybe you'll see 40-ish out of a stock Charger, but this isn't even turned all the way up yet, and this thing does rip. One thing that we got to address in the future too is we're not going to do it right away with the 472, but I would like at some point we're going to have to upgrade the intercooler on this as well. Just because the mileage of everything and running the Charger for a while, I'm sure the stock intercooler is not liking its life at all right now, and these, you know, stock intercoolers are kind of weak when you start throwing a lot of boost at it. I know with the 472, with the application that the truck's going for, it will not hold up over time. That's something that we're definitely going to have to upgrade, but you know, we're going to kind of push it to its limits a little bit, see what it can handle and everything like that. But as you can see, fuel light was on during that pull great, and that, I wish I would have showed the mirror, but the pull was super clean too. Like once it's in boost, this thing's great for daily driving. I'm really curious to see what we're dealing with the 472 when we hop up to that. Just, you know, lag wise, I know once it's in boost and it's great, but just, you know, the overall driving ability of the truck, because this thing is not bad at all. It, you know, this is maybe half throttle right now, 5th gear. But as you can see, once it starts picking up boost, it's fine. It's just that initial trying to get the build boost sucks, because, you know, we're cruising at 0 pounds of boost, has no vanes in it, to keep it, you know, in boost like a stock Charger. And you got to keep in mind, anything you upgrade over stock will not drive like stock. So you got to keep that in mind when, you know, it's trying to source a bigger Charger out and meet your demands of what you want out of the truck. Nothing ever drives like stock, even if you get a Stealth 67, a 369, 472, whatever you decide to get, nothing's ever like stock. So you just got to keep that in mind. But let's get it back home and we'll talk about a few more things. Now I'm going to get a couple sound clips for you guys. As you can hear, the Charger does sound super sweet, and right now the way this is set up with the tuning and TCM tuning, you can't beat it. It runs absolutely phenomenal. As you can hear, it does have a little bit of chop to it, but the chop of the S472 is going to be not even close to the sound of this turbo. I can't wait to get the 472 on so we can get a couple driving clubs and everything along those lines with that Charger. But so far overall, I have 0 complaints out of this Charger. A lot of people complain sometimes that a 369 sometimes is not as good as 472, and the way this is set up on stock fuel and everything, you just got the fast and 369 right now, and built trans, truck runs great. Just the way everything's set up, the TCM tune, engine tune, you cannot beat this setup right now. I absolutely love this, and I'm curious really to put up against the 472 and see, you know, how it performs. Alright, so we just got back from our test drive, guys, so that's about it for this video. Like I said, the 369 kind of really impressed me over a stock Charger. It's not really as lazy as you would expect it to be. Now, I know when we hop up to the 472, in my mind, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more lag out of that Charger, but you know, with proper tuning and the TCM tune, that could prove me wrong. So stay tuned till next week when we start getting this tore down. Then hopefully the following week after that, we'll have it back up and running, and we'll take it out and go over everything there is to know about the S472. So if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. If you liked this video, be sure to leave it a big thumbs up. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Stop this conversation.